Talk,
where we're not strangers, wear your voice.
Since it's February and this is Valentine's Week, we have decided to talk about relationships.
How has dating in high school surprised you or even disappointed you?
So I went into high school thinking that all these kids are so big and mature and stuff. It's not like that at all. My expectations were wrong. I've been disappointed.
Whenever I was going into my freshman year, I broke up with whoever I was dating at the moment. I was like, I'm ready for high school. I'm gonna date people. That did not happen.
I definitely thought dating in high school would be kind of more like the movies actually portray it. Like I thought I was gonna find like my one and only like freshman year and just take it and run with it.
That's what I thought.
The only advice I would give my past self before I started high school, it's not going to be like the movies. It's nothing like the movies. And you know when you ask your parents like how they met, they're like, oh, we met in high school, and they're like, oh, I'll be my person in high school, and you never do, and you get disappointed because you're like, am I doing something wrong? Well, whenever you're in high school, even though you're not going to find like the dream person, or you're not really going to get super far in relationships probably, during that time you're going to learn a little bit of what you're looking for and what you think you might like more than what you might not like whether that be sexual orientation, like just anything really. You'll learn more about people and yourself.
Trial and error.
It really is. Yeah.
Like you try something and you find out you don't like it.
You also figure out a lot about who you are yourself through dating, especially in high school.
I think we all here have had our fair share of mistakes.
You learn what you want and what you don't want in a person based on previous relationships.
Also, you can learn from family. Like the way your parents treat each other, or the way your siblings treat each other. They're not in a romantic relationship, but like relationships in general. The way you and your friends treat each other. Like that's kind of how you reflect.
The correct way to treat someone. Because a lot of people aren't taught how to treat someone.
That could be portrayed through their parents' relationships.
And a lot of people are like not aware that they're doing that too. Like what they're doing is normal to them, but to other people it's like, hey, you're being a little bit of a jerk right now, but they don't know. You need to make your boundaries.
And you
like,
need to be sure that your partner, whoever in the relationship, is also following your same boundaries.
Absolutely.
That they're okay with whatever you're doing and that you are okay with what they're doing.
Yes, boundaries are a huge thing in relationships, friendships, anything. Please set boundaries for yourself.
Stay loyal to that. Don't fluctuate with what they want.
Like if they are talking about something they want and you're like, okay, well I guess I can get rid of this boundary or get rid of that boundary. No.
And I think knowing that your partner isn't going to cross those boundaries means that you have a lot of trust in your partner. And when you have a lot of trust, you build a healthy foundation so that the things that you put on top of your foundation continue to stay sturdy.
Hey guys, vape boxes are here. Let me show you where they're at.
There's one here. Here's another one.
S.W.A.T heard your voice and is taking steps to advocate for you.
Many students have told us they found themselves having a vape out of addiction or curiosity and they weren't sure how to get rid of it or to seek help.
We found a solution, vape boxes. We know that often sometimes people turn to nicotine or tobacco to cope with stress or depression or anxiety.
In reality, nicotine has been found to directly cause mental health conditions.
We want to help you to make healthier choices with this.
The goal is we want students to be able to turn in vapes without getting in trouble and to seek help if they need it.
The use of the box is anonymous, and there's a QR code that you can scan that gives you tips on how to stop.
You can always drop by 303 and talk to Erica about getting resources. The purpose of the drop box is to promote tobacco, vape prevention, and offer other services to help our students.
While also creating a safe place for students to turn in their vape device and dispose of it properly.
We hope this creates a safer learning environment in our school and encourages our peers to make healthier choices.
Simply discard the vape and scan the QR code.
This is the opportunity to make life changes today
This is the first step.
to a healthier lifestyle.
And now, back to the video. What are some red flags for you guys in a relationship or a friendship?
Lying.
Consent.
Humiliating. Acting different whenever other people are around.
Extremely jealous.
Don't let you hang out with certain people.
Said that they're gonna do something to themselves if you don't do something.
Yeah.
Manipulation.
Yes. For saying that your opinion does not matter.
Bringing up your past.
I mean, it's good to talk about this sometimes.
If you've already hashed it out with them and they continue to bring it up, that's when it becomes a
Especially
problem.
Or use it against you.
So if you do notice these things in the people that you're dating, would you stay in a relationship with them?
It's trying to separate the difference between it being an unhealthy way, like love, and being abusive. If it's more and more frequent, then you need to go talk to somebody.
So do you typically break up with people as soon as you see that it becomes unhealthy love, or do you wait till it gets to the abusive part?
It's like, especially when they're so manipulative, you're just like, well, I really love this person, so I really want to try and talk to them and
See if
try.
I can change them.
Yeah, well,
You can't change people.
if they look at it from a different standpoint. It's like, wow, I'm a huge jerk.
I think I would just try and talk to them first, maybe talk to other people, get their opinion on it. And this goes with friendships too. You try and talk to them, be like, hey, this is kind of controlling, this is kind of hurting my feelings. And if they continue to do it in your on and off friendships or relationships, if it's on and off especially, that's a big red flag.
So I heard this really good quote from one of the TED Talks I was watching, and it says, it's not about how it starts, it's about how it evolves. Talking about relationships.
Coming from that, what are some green flags you guys look for in relationships?
A loyal person.
Supportive.
You have a life before you start dating them. And they trust you.
Trust, loyalty, respect. They can communicate.
Communication is a huge thing, I think, especially for friendships and relationships, and I think that's where a lot of the problems are, is not communicating.
Not just texting, like talking in person. Working things out, not just like putting it on the back burner because things get worse.
So communication.
Communication.
Boundaries, again, please set boundaries.
Love requires that you trust your partner and talk about things when trusting feels difficult. Whenever you kind of might not want to talk, you still are just talking to your partner.
Another big one is consideration for your feelings. If they messed up or they did something that hurt your feelings, they're gonna be like, hey, I'm sorry about that. You guys talk it through. You guys figure it out.
Maturity.
And like not even just someone who can realize that they're messing up, but also to help point out when you're messing up. Because like in a relationship, it's supposed to go like, it's teamwork. It's not just about you. It's not just about them. It's about both of you. And so you guys both have to be able to say, hey, you said that to so-and-so. You said that to me and that like really annoyed me. Can you not do that? And then you guys, once again, trust in working things out. Like it's such a big, huge factor in relationships.
It's weird the words that we talk about love. It's falling to love, crazy in love, sick with love. The words that we use to describe love are literally comparing it to bad things. Just the words that we use to describe love, we need to change that.
In high school, I feel like love has gone to be normalized as a bad thing.
Or overused. They'll be a couple weeks into a relationship and they'll say, I love you. But really what I meant to say was I'm attracted to you. Love is something that is earned over time. It is something that grows.
Either that or they just don't understand the value of saying I love you.
Taking it for granted.
Instead of falling into love, we need to step into love. Love is always going to be hard, but talking is what helps. Going back to that communication.
Speak.
Talk about your feelings.
Use your words.
Express your thoughts and your feelings.
Don't be shy, homie. Yes. And contrary to popular belief, the more you do it, the easier it gets. The easier it gets for them to like be there to help you. If you don't feel like there's anyone you can talk to about like relationship, anything, the way you're feeling, any of that, there's hotlines you can call.
Or you have all of us here that you can go to.
Please, if you need to talk about anything, you can talk to any of us in this room. Please.
And if you are afraid to reach out to us, you can send
Erica an email.
Erica an email. And she can put you guys
Reach us on our Instagram page.
Find us on social media, text us.
Whenever a relationship goes toxic or not good for you, our first step is always saying leave. Just leave. That's not always that easy.
Yeah, it's not.
Leaving isn't always possible, especially whenever it turns abusive.
Because they're trying to force you to stay with them, so it's not always the answer.
Just feel emotionally attached to them where you don't want to leave, but you know you should.
Or you're just so set on fixing or changing this person because you love them so much that you want them to change for their benefit. Like you want the best for them.
Whenever a relationship turns toxic, we advise you to go talk to an expert, talk to somebody on how to leave safely. Safety is your number one priority there.
We forgot to mention something. If your friends or family are saying something is up, listen to them. Whenever you're stuck in the moment, you feel like you can't leave this person because you are emotionally attached to them.
It's very important to look at other people's point of view outside from yours.
Because they can see what you can't see.
The month of February is Kindness Month, so your wellness tip is to write a quick note to someone who needs a little inspiration.
With the end of our 4th podcast, goodbye!